Street, where the house trains at 111.
Welcome here live to tonight's action from the Midwest Premier League. It's Chicago House hosting Dekalb County United. I'm Alex Campbell. Thanks for joining us live here on Recruit Links on YouTube. And I'm joined by Dekalb County coach PJ Hamilton. PJ, thanks for taking a few moments for us pregame. Not probably the start to the season you guys would have liked. What's been the message coming into this game as you guys look to get win number one on the board?
Continue to grow within the system. We have an identity on how we want to attack, how we want to defend. The revolving door of guys has been the biggest challenge to the start of the season, but just got into a little 8-1-5 Cup, played a quality match against Rockford, so looking to keep things going in the right direction.
When you talk about the system, when you talk about when you want to execute, how would you describe kind of the overarching themes of how you want your guys to go out there and play?
We want to get high, we want to be in a high press, we want to get things going, and we want to get numbers forward to give ourselves a chance to put something in the back of the net. Increasing our numbers only allow us to do that, and so we feel like we have the pieces to do so we're going to continue to grow on those aspects.
When you're looking to merge a team of guys, obviously you've got a couple NIU representatives, you've got guys who went to high school together, some guys who played together club. When you're coming into these summer seasons, what do you focus on the most to try to build chemistry and cohesion as quickly as you can?
We just try to play as much as possible. I mean, we got to bring in the right character people, the right guys that believe in the system, believe in the message, and so buying in or getting guys to buy into the right message with the right leaders is always the beginning challenges, but love some new additions that we have, and some leadership is really stepping up and taking place.
Well, looking forward to see how that all comes together on the field tonight. Coach Hamilton, thanks for your time. Good luck this evening, and we'll see you out there.
Best luck to you guys as well.
Absolutely. And we're now going to go find Coach Shannon Seymour of Chicago House. Shannon, of course, a former Chicago House player himself, a Chicago House original. There's not many of those guys left on this roster. A.R. Smith, still unavailable, the captain due to injury, believes the only other House original still on the rosters. Some very familiar names in this 11 tonight, some less familiar as well. Certainly a lot of attention from DeKalb's side will be placed on number 10, Kikis Avalos, the kind of talisman of sorts for Chicago House. Is Coach Seymour in conversation with the referees at the moment, so we'll give him a second. If you missed it earlier, the women's team for Chicago House earned a 0-0 draw with FC Milwaukee Torrent, breaking a 15-match winning streak in league play for the team from Milwaukee. We're going to walk and talk some more as we track Shannon down here. Come on, Shannon! You got a sec? Yeah. There he is.
Trying to get out of it. How we doing?
Good. How are you? Shannon Seymour, head coach, Chicago House AC. Good to see you back here at Langhorst Field for the first time this season, or my first time this season. A lot of new faces in the team this year. What's kind of been the general idea, the general philosophy that you've tried to get those guys to buy into as they mesh with some more experienced guys?
Yeah, no, I think making sure that we maintain the identity that has gotten us to where we are in the past couple seasons with a fresh twist of different creativity, different ideas on both the offensive side of the ball as well as defensive. We have some new interesting players, and they've brought sparks off the bench and just some good camaraderie with the vets, so it's been good.
Speaking of vets, your fellow House original, Captain A.R. Smith, still not available. How have you seen guys, particularly the midfielders, step up so far this season, trying to fill his space on the field?
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's been a little bit of a struggle in moments, not having that boisterous presence and voice to lead, but I think players such as Jhon Alzate, who's been here, who's been called upon to step up, has been awesome in that role, right? We've brought in a new player that's also still old to the team, David Abidor, who's been crucial in stepping up and just being a leader in that role. So it's been it's huge shoes to fill, but I think the guys have done a good job answering the call and finding ways to still get results.
You're going up against a team tonight that's still looking for their first point in the standings on the season. How do you balance confidence with keeping your head down and not taking anything for granted in this match?
Yeah, I think we have a little chip on our shoulder right now going into this match. This team was crucial in our second place finish last year as we dropped points against them at home last year. So I think it's a little bit of a chip on our shoulder to get reestablish that dominance there that we hope to have in every game, as well as again, we're coming off a loss right now, and our philosophy is good teams don't lose 2 times in a row. So if we want to show that we're here and we're a good team in this league and we're the team to be reckoned with, we got to go out and get a result.
Well, we'll see if House are able to bounce back tonight here back at home on Pride Night for Chicago House AC, live here on Recruit Links. Kickoff is coming up next. Shannon, thank you for your time, and we'll look forward to the game.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Jhon Alzate, midfielder.
Pau Mateo Chacon, defender.
Julian Da Silva, center mid.
Ryan Grady, goalkeeper.
Hi, my name is Jeremiah Higgins, and I'm a goalkeeper here at Chicago House.
Aryan Kamdar, forward, winger.
Bay Kurtz, center mid.
Dan LaCost, center back.
Hi, I'm Jake Lane, and I'm a right winger.
Maglory Makila, left wing.
John Makowiecki, right back.
Alejandro Mentasti, forward.
Austin Montejano, outside back.
My name is Oscar Montejano, and I play midfielder.
Aaron Moreno, center mid.
Ricardo Orozco, midfielder.
Jaret Reveles, fullback.
A.R. Smith, center mid.
Oleh Tymovfi, winger.
My name is Bryan Villa, and I play center midfielder.
Nico Williams, striker.
Gabe Zorilla, goalie.
Hi, my name is Brian Koenig. I am the president of Soccer 2000. We are a soccer specialty store located in Downers Grove. We specialize in servicing club uniforms and a personalized retail experience. Soccer 2000 has an exclusive team center that includes a wide variety of uniform kits to help your club choose the next kits that will make you guys look great on the field. Contact us at 630-241-9500 or find us online at soccer2000.com.
Max Heads, custom kick drum heads. Design online, upload, create, rock. If you're in a band, you need a Max Head. Did you know that you can advertise your business on our live streams? You sure can. Contact us about the numerous advertising opportunities we offer to local businesses during our sports live streams. Build brand awareness, engage customers, and support your local sports teams. Contact us for more information.
dangerous. Shameless, basic, shameless, get dangerous. That's my. Get dangerous.
to Midwest Premier League Soccer. Tonight, Chicago House AC hosts DeKalb County United. Live from Langhorse Field at Elmhurst University. Live stream brought to you by Recruitlings.
It's game time.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise if you're able and remove your hat for the playing of our national anthem. And now the starting lineups for tonight's match of DeKalb County United against your Chicago House AC. For DeKalb County, starting number 1, Austin Waite. Number 2, Joey Rodino. Number 90, Jose Ibarra. Number 25, Trey Gora. Number 18, Baylor Denu. Number 27, the captain, Liam O'Donoghue. Number 37, Ian Ferguson. Number 34, Jared Reveles. Number 87, Martin Montoya. Number 11, Taylor Sowell. And number 47, Christian Niziolek. And now the starting lineup for your Chicago House. In goal, number 33, Jeremiah Higgins. Number 5, defender, John Makowiecki. Number 30, defender, Dan LaCost. Number 15, defender, and your captain, Pau Mateo Chacon. Number 20, defender, Austin Montejano. Number 31, midfielder, Eric Espinoza. Number 2, midfielder, Jake Lane. Number 4, midfielder, Oscar Montejano. Number 10, midfielder, Kiki Avalos. Number 22, midfielder, Jhon Alzate. And number 9, forward, Nico Williams. House fans, please welcome Elmhurst Pride Collective board member Jen and her daughter Zariah as they perform the ceremonial first kick to get the game started.
Good evening and welcome live on Recruitlings to the second half of today's Pride Day doubleheader. Officially, I think we can call it Pride Night at this point for Chicago House AC. 7 p.m. here in the beautiful west suburbs of Chicago. A day that has been up and down weather-wise, but it has all cleared. The sun is shining, and we're ready to go here from the Midwest Premier League as Chicago House host DeKalb County United. Thanks for joining us here live on Recruitlings. I'm Alex Campbell. If you were listening there over the PA, you just heard the starting lineups. Chicago House, still with a lot of familiar names in this 11, the likes of Nico Williams, Kiki Avalos, Pau Mateo Chacon, John Alzate, and Dan LaCost, all old stalwarts.
But some new faces this season as well, the likes of Jeremiah Higgins in goal, Jake Lane in midfield, John Makowiecki on defense. Chicago House, second place right now in the Midwest Premier League Heartland Division 1, only trailing RWB Adria. House looking for their first title after missing out so narrowly at the end of last season, a race that came down to the final day that saw House finish in second place. So far in the season, though, 12 goals scored, only 3 conceded, 3 wins and a draw. They are unbeaten on the year. They drew Adria in their opener. They've got wins now on the trot against Charlie Yazvo. Green Bay Glory is 7-2 thumping, and last weekend 1-0 over AFC Roscoe. Different story, meanwhile, for DeKalb County United. They find themselves currently in the Heartland Conference Division 1 relegation zone early in the season. They have played 3, lost all 3, scoring 2 goals and conceding 8. They lost 1-0 at Adria. That's not a bad result. But since it's been a 3-0 loss at home against Bavarian United and then a 4-2 loss against Green Bay Glory, that same team that Chicago House dispatched by a score of 7-2. As soon as we can make heads or tails of the formation out there, we'll go back through the lineup once again for each team. Have a general sense of what House are going to look like. It'll be Nico Williams through the middle. It'll be Kikis Avalos playing as a number 10 behind him. And it looks like it's going to be Oscar Montejano and Jake Lane on the wings, but we will come back to that. Looks even like House might be in a back 3 tonight. In any case, we are underway. There's a lot of green out on that field tonight, not just the grass. DeKalb County in the green tops and gray shorts. Chicago House in the black and green tops and black shorts. A bit of a color clash, but enough of a difference in the shirts, I think you could say. And the orange accents for Chicago House, particularly important on a night like tonight. Ball played through the middle and chested down. This is Eric Espinoza finding Kikis Avalos. Nico Williams, top of the area. Williams just out-muscled there by number 18, that's Baylor Deneau, center back for DeKalb County, who do appear themselves to be in a back 3. Pau Mateo Chacon, captain on the night, chips it forward looking for Espinoza. And then at full stretch is Austin Waite, the Bradley University Braves goalkeeper. First whistle of the game, it'll be a free kick won by number 90, that's Jose Ibarra, recent Chicago State University grad. And that's straight out of play by Liam O'Donohue, captain tonight for DeKalb County. Lots of room down the far side. Here come DeKalb County. Shot is dragged wide of the target, but an early warning shot from number 37, Ian Ferguson. Ferguson, the Lake Zurich native, rising junior at Bradley. One back by DeKalb County to defend as Makowiecki was caught upfield. This is into the middle, ball is loose, still bouncing in the area, and eventually cleared by Chacon. Only as far, though, as number 25. That's Trey Gora. And now a dangerous free kick. It has certainly been DeKalb County, who have started brighter here tonight. be a left-footed effort right into the four-man wall of Chicago House. Back through the lines, chance here, and it's pushed wide by O'Donohue. O'Donohue, a rising sophomore at Loyola, where he played just 17 minutes last season. House looking to establish some possession. This is Austin Montejano, one of the Montejano twins. Looks like they're both going to play on the left side tonight. So that might be Oscar. Get back to that. Here's Lane. The more I'm looking out here, I wonder if there's some discussion being had by somebody if Chicago House has their white kids available, because this is, I'd imagine for the players out there, not the most aesthetically contrasting experience. Trying to dribble out of trouble there all by himself was Gora. Danu. Flaring out wide left for Ibarra. A quick restart. As knocking this forward is Montoya, the Northern Illinois Husky. Bouncing ball on the far side is collected there by Joey Rodino. Ball forward, skips off the foot of Montoya, and Pau Mateo Chacon collects. So a quick run through here of the DeKalb County lineup and shape. In goal is Austin Waite. The back four from right to left are Joey Rodino, Trey, Gora, Baylor Danu, and Jose Ibarra. Midfield double pivot is the captain, Liam O'Donohue, and Jared Sineva, with in the number 10 position, Taylor Sowell. Right wing is number 37, Ian Ferguson. Left wing, 47, Christian Niziolik. And striker, 87, is Martin Montoya. There's Jake Lane for Chicago House, laying this back for Espinoza. Now, Makowiecki, right-footed cross, a dangerous one, was looking for Williams. Makowiecki, excuse me. Not too many syllables thrown in there. Nice work here by Makowiecki, but he wasn't on the same page with Williams. Only as far as Lane. Lane, juking right and left. Lane, low cross, deflects. Here's Williams on his left. It's right at Waite. Good first shot on target, though.
We're hosting a freeze dance competition on the field. Get your groove on. House volunteer in an orange shirt will be coming through the stands about 10 minutes before the end of the half. Let's have some fun. Prize will be awarded for the last person remaining.
And the offside flag is up on the far side. As for Chicago House, it is Jeremiah Higgins in goal. The back four from right to left is John Makowiecki, Dan LaCost, Pau Mateo Chacon, and Austin Montejano. Jhon Alzate is the deepest of the midfield three, with Eric Espinoza and Kikis Avalos ahead of him. On the right wing, it's Jake Lane. The left wing ahead of his twin brother is Oscar Montejano, and Nico Williams leads the line for the home side. Scooped up by Waite, the Naperville native, rising junior for the Bradley Braves. DeKalb, a team that has done a lot of chopping and changing, and I think that's probably made it particularly difficult. We heard Coach P.J. Hamilton pregame talk about that. I'll be honest, I showed up today with notes for about 20 players. Well, not quite maybe that many, maybe 15, and only 4 of them are on the match day roster. Kind of gives you a sense of the unknown of this DeKalb team. Chicago House, meanwhile, they're still without A.R. Smith, their captain. And still a lot of new faces in this team. Here's one of them, Jake Lane. Lane, who is transferring somewhere ahead of next soccer season. Not sure where yet. He played 2 games at Bowling Green, but has announced he won't be staying with the Falcons. Long run here. Good effort by Ferguson to get there, dueling with Austin Montejano, who's able to turn and clear despite being much smaller in stature than his opponent on that occasion. Good challenge by Alzate, and room for Kikis to turn. Avalos spraying it out wide here for Lane. It's back to Kikis. Williams leaving that, hoping for Espinoza, cleared away, and LaCost will retreat. Dan LaCost, the former Aurora Spartan. Chacon. Makes sense that he's the captain on the night, one of the most experienced guys on the active roster tonight. Jhon Alzate, Kikis Avalos also in that group. Avalos, who won the Golden Boot in this league in 2022 and 23. And I'm sure over the years he's had offers to go elsewhere over his summers, but he has stayed here with the house. Or heck, not just over summers, maybe from fall to spring as well. Back here for Higgins. Junior at Lewis, who got a few looks for the Flyers as a freshman, but did not see the field as a sophomore. Chicago guy, though, went to Lane Tech High School. Here's Alzate exchanging passes with Espinoza. Espinoza, formerly of Governor State and then Illinois College, native of Indianapolis. Espinoza. Alzate. Interesting to see her in possession. There's Makowiecki. He's underlapping a bit. There's Kikis Avalos finding a pocket of space, exchanging with Espinoza. Kikis forward, and it's just hammered away by Gora. Gora, who just finished up his college career at Eastern Illinois. Back into midfield. Saw that early salvo from Dekalb County, and the game is even back out since. That's late from LaCost, and even though we're early in the game, that's an automatic yellow for that challenge. Niziolek. Easy decision for the referee, and not a smart challenge by the House center back. He was never getting to that ball, and credit to Niziolek, hasn't even begun his college career yet. He'll be playing for the Roosevelt University Lakers starting in the fall out of Conant High School in Schaumburg. Niziolek saw that ball go right under his foot.
House fans, Hamburger Heaven, the iconic Elmhurst based diner in North Avenue, New York Road, is a proud Jersey.
Touch here for Higgins. Higgins, goalkeeper, just 5'9". It's about as small as you'll ever see for a goalkeeper in the men's game. Not unheard of, but means your positioning always has to be exactly perfect.
Using the special code CHWIN. That's CHWIN.
Out wide looking for Chacon and couldn't quite get there. And it's interesting, in possession you've got Makowiecki underlapping a bit in front of LaCost, but Montejano's really wide to the left as a sort of wing back with Lane providing the width on the right. It doesn't give House a whole lot of coverage at the back. See a lot of teams these days build out of a 3-2-5 sort of shape. House are doing something a bit different, almost more of a 2-3-5 if anything. see all 5 of those players getting forward right now. Makowiecki, the right back's one of them. Curling effort is up and over the top from Lane. Yeah, you can see on that occasion it's the center back staying deep. Then it was a line of Espinoza, Alzate, and the left back, Austin Montejano, forming the midfield 3, so to speak. To keep an eye on that as the game goes on, if how often we see Makowiecki getting ahead of Espinoza. Certainly a willing runner, though. Makowiecki, a guy who's had a roving career, played at SLU, and then after a summer playing for House, went over to Poland, played in the 3rd tier there for a couple of seasons. Spent one stint as well in Czechia, in the 3rd tier there as well. And now back home in Chicago. Chacon, lots of space. Between the lines, this is Oscar Montejano showing his speed. Look at Oscar go. Montejano into the area. Options for a cutback. Montejano leaves it. The shot is up and over the top. Tried to set up his brother, and Austin couldn't keep the shot down. What a moment that would have been, though, for the Montejano twins. Both formerly of Concordia, Chicago, and Dominican. Oscar, who started every game for his last 2 years at CUC after all but 2 in his freshman year, then over the last 2 years played 5 times at Dominican, which I don't know the details, but that would imply a guy who went there for graduate school and was also on the soccer roster but wasn't able to play as much soccer as he might have liked. Also, you know, worth comparing that Dominican, generally a pretty strong program, one of the top teams in the NAC. That header into the middle was away by Danu. Niziolik couldn't get it clear as Lane tracked it down. Makowiecki, Williams, Espinoza, first time cross to the back post. Makowiecki had continued his run and was there. Austin heading for Oscar. Lane hopping up at the far side here, trying to just push his way through. Lane to the end line, ran out of real estate. Goal kick. I'll be honest, I'm not 100% sure if it's Makowiecki or Makowiecki. Somebody watching live on YouTube can clarify, that'd be great, but I'm going with the, especially given that he has played in Poland, I'm going with the full Polish pronunciation there. Certainly what they would have called him over there, you would imagine. So, if it's the wrong pronunciation, I'm pretty confident I'm not the first person to pronounce it that way. Here's Lane. Lane looking just to size up Ibarra. Williams, flag stays down, he's got some room. Williams just blasts that into the 6-yard box, and it's well held by Waite. Actually thought we might see his brother in goal tonight. He's on the roster, his younger brother Connor, but not with the team this evening. The backup goalkeeper on the bench is Lucas Ortiz, a rising redshirt junior at Eastern Illinois. Offside flag up on the far side. It's quite the powerful whistle our referee this evening has. Here's Oscar Montejano. Not a bad luxury for house coach Shannon Seymour to just be able to put the twins on the left side and know they'll be able to figure it out. Lane again with space here to run at Ibarra. Lane onto his right. Lane's cross to the far post is a diving header away by Rodino. And House have been the aggressors here for the last 5 minutes or so. Lots of time here for Chacon. They've got Dekalb County pretty much pinned back right now, House. Williams almost got there. It was a good step by Danu. As trying to navigate traffic, there is Sineva. Rodino away. Just launched forward here by Niziolek. Too far, though, for Ferguson. Interesting to see some both Bradley and Eastern Illinois representation on this Dekalb roster. Not really their MO. Historically, a very Northern Illinois-centric team, a very former Rockford Raptors club player-centric team. Lots of Boylan Catholic and Rockford graduates. Still a couple of those. This is a long ball looking for Niziolek. Up against Makowiecki. And the House right back recovered well. Put that out for a throw-in here in the 20th minute. Thanks for spending your Sunday evening. Maybe you've spent your entire Sunday with us here. Live on Recruitlings, taking in some Chicago House AC soccer. Earlier today, the women's team got a draw that felt like a win as they became the first team in 2 years to not lose in league play at FC Milwaukee Torrent. Dekalb lining up their first corner of the night. In swinger toward the far post. Alzate got ahead to it. Lane heads it on. Lane turns inside and finds some real estate. Still going Lane, showing off his skills. Oscar. Espinoza. Just launching it long and not on the same page with Williams. On the turn, Sneva. Just graduated from Bradley. Congratulations to all the recent college grads, not only on the field tonight, but taking this game in. Williams shoots early and might have been a better option to try to find Kikis making that run outside to the right. But Williams, he is a striker. If he's got half a look, he's going to pull the trigger. Lane seeing a lot of the ball here in the early stages. Lane onto his left, has a go. That ball kind of flutters in the air. Lane on the follow-up. Can't find the trigger. It was good defending by Ibarra. Still loose. Williams, loose ball still, and it finds its way eventually into the back of the net as Avalos rolls away. Nico Williams took a hack in the process. No matter. Hopefully he's all right. First things first, it's 1-0 Chicago House. Avalos scores in the 22nd minute. And now concern can turn to Nico Williams, whose state has made this a bit of a demure celebration. But they've been knocking on the door for a while now, have House. And now the question will be, how do Dekalb, who started this game so well, but have really just been put up against the ropes, in the next round, so to speak, how do they respond? Looks like Williams is going to be all right. He was holding that ball up in the center of the area, and when he turned, I think he got just walloped. And then luckily for House, the ball that came loose fell right to the right foot of Avalos, who did the rest. LaCost all the way back here for Higgins. No saves to make for him so far tonight. In a moment, I'll run down the team benches. Makowiecki, here's Lane again. And once again, he's got some room to run. The tricky winger plays it off the referee. That'll be a drop ball. So the benches, DeKalb County has number 7, Jack Bonavia, number 9, Peter Chirbo, number 15, Josh Seniceros, number 31, the goalkeeper, Lucas Ortiz, number 42, Ardit Abdullahi, number 50, Michael Rubio Jr., and number 88, Josh Squires. As for Chicago House, as DeKalb plays that straight out, Ryan Grady, number 3, is the backup goalkeeper. He is joined by number 11, Alejandro Mentasti. Number 19, Oleh Tymovfi. Number 23, Aaron Moreno. Number 29, Julian Da Silva. Number 24, Bay Kurtz. And number 99, Makila. Rodino, the right back, marauding forward a bit here for DeKalb County. Montoya dropping deep, just trying to get himself involved. He's hardly had a kick. I think the only guy who's been less involved is the man playing just underneath him in that number 10 position, Taylor Sowell, who I don't think I've called his name yet in the course of play. Danu, rising junior at UW Green Bay, out of Beloit, Illinois, so right there on the Illinois-Wisconsin border. As Makowiecki sees that out, and we've got some words after. The referee's gonna come over to make sure this doesn't escalate into anything more, as LaCost tells the referee, don't worry, I got this. Makowiecki mixing it up there with Niziolek of DeKalb County. Montoya, one-man press right now, and that's not going to cause the house center backs a whole lot of trouble. Alzate, Oscar, Alzate, and out to Chacon. Such an asset with that left foot of his. And you see it right here as he opens things up. Avalos cutting in, Kikis through the hands of the goalkeeper and in. It'll count the same on the scoreboard. What an effect there is. Waite knew it was trouble. Williams could have tapped it in. Instead, he just lets it roll into the corner. And DeKalb County United, that is the last thing they needed. Kikis Avalos has his brace 26 minutes in. Austin Waite is going to need a very short memory on that one. The assist to Pau Mateo Chacon. What a ball that was down the left channel. Avalos did the rest. And that's the type of goal conceded if you're DeKalb that can really take the wind out of your sails. On the flip side, if you're House, there is no better time to look for your third goal than in the next 5 minutes. Or I guess the next 4, that's all that separated the first 2. DeKalb just have not been able to get their playmakers, Sowell, O'Donohue, Sineva, involved in the center of the park at all. And this, this rather interesting possession shape I was talking about earlier by Chicago House, DeKalb County have not been able to adjust to it and figure out what the home side have going on. In their defense, it's certainly more complex than what you normally see at this level, to see a team building up the way we've seen House doing it tonight. But again, the veteran experience they have at center back, the familiarity of so many of these players with each other, just gives them a confidence and a fluidity that I'm sure a lot of teams in the Midwest Premier League envy. Gora back to Waite, his goalkeeper. Waite saying, where am I supposed to go with this ball? There's nowhere to go. Danu. Niziolek, he's been the outlet most often, and he was looking for Montoya, but couldn't get it over 6'2" Dan LaCost. Niziolek kept it in, but didn't find a teammate, or did he? No, throw it. Makowiecki with the throw-in. They'll do it again as that ball ends up in the DeKalb bench. DeKalb are coached by P.J. Hamilton. Chicago House by Shannon Seymour. comes, crossing back post, wide open. What a save by Wade. Kikis Avalos probably thought he had his hat trick. Well, I think Austin Wade has paid his debt for the last goal, because what a cross by Williams. Kikis Avalos, a wide open free header. That close to 3-0 for Kikis. Big save by Wade to keep Dekalb in it. Once again, though, the rotations in possession of Chicago House. They're just leaving Dekalb players for dead and finding all sorts of space. Here they go again. It's Kikis again. Kikis wants to shoot again. Not this time. Lane. Still Lane into the back of the net. It's 3-0. Kikis adds to his tally on the night with an assist. Lane gets the goal. It's 3, and it feels like we are headed for a whole lot more here tonight in Elmhurst.
Chicago House goal scored in the 30th minute by number 2, Jake Lane.
And Waite got a hand of that one, and there's some movement right now on the Dekalb bench. There's got to be, you'd have to think. It's going to be at least a double change, maybe a triple, it looks like, just to find anything that can work right now. We're going to see number 8. I don't have an 8 on my notes, so that's not super helpful. Number 88, Josh Squires. And number 42, Ardit Abdullahi. So Abdullahi's in, Squires is in. We just saw Sowell and Sineva go out. And not sure who the third change was. Again, it's number 8, who we don't know who number 8 is. And I didn't see who he came on for. And I have to try to deduce it based on who's not there anymore.
Who's number 8? Sorry, do we have number 8 for them?
Eight's gone into midfield where Sowell was playing. Again, we know already that Abdullahi and Squires are out there. Is it a like-for-like change up top for Montoya? Montoya, who was winning. Montoya's still out there, 87.
We're hosting a freeze dance competition on the field. Get your groove on. A house volunteer in an orange shirt will be coming through the stands about 10 minutes before the end of the half. Let's have some fun. Prize will be awarded to the last person remaining.
Sorry for the silence. I'm trying to figure out who else came off the field. I think it's got to be. We'll come back to that. It's Niziolek who's gone off. So Niziolek's gone off. Abdullahi's on that left wing spot. The unknown number 8 is in the 10 role. And Squires has gone into central midfield in place of Sineva. My best guess is that number 9 is Peter Chirbo. Number 8 is Peter Chirbo, who's supposed to be wearing number 9 according to the roster. And I'm imagining eventually we'll be able to play a long enough game of telephone to figure out who this player is. Meanwhile, is that a foul? No. Captain O'Donohue dispossessed. Oscar leaving it for Kikis. And eventually Espinoza back for Chacon. The familiarity Chacon, LaCost, and Alzate in particular have there is part of what's allowing House to build with just the two staying back, because Alzate is kind of a hybrid between being in the back line and in the midfield. And they've all got so many minutes together, that chemistry kind of makes up for half a player, essentially. Lane down the line. Oscar Montejano popping up on the near side. Oscar reversing field. Still Oscar. And then he commits a foul, free kick. As it's Ibarra who goes down.
Fans, mark your calendars for the Elmhurst Family Pride Fest happening Saturday, June 21st from noon to 4 p.m. at Elmhurst Presbyterian Church, 367. This event is outdoors, rain or shine. Join the EPC for this free celebration designed for the whole family with more than 50 vendors, crafts,
Ball hit long, and LaCoste out jumps two guys to win it and is called for a foul. He shakes his head in disbelief and trots away.
Performances by the long five color guard and Elmhurst own.
And I can see his jersey from here. It is in fact Peter Chirbo, who is the number 9, who is the number 8. That's into the area. Chacon won the first header. Alzate had to do himself, and that's good work by Montoya, but he's giving it away. 3-on-2 of House hurry. Look at all the space for Lane on the near side. This is Williams. Nico Williams into the area. Williams off the crossbar. Loose ball, diving header. No, Lane on the follow-up. It's 4! Lane's got a brace. House have 4. It's all falling apart for DeKalb County. I didn't see who that was on House, who just put his body on the line to go flying in there for the diving header that didn't work out, but Lane kept his cool and just fizzed that ball into the open net. And there's a point here, I mean, we're only 9 minutes to halftime, but, you know, to make a hockey analogy, sometimes you replace your goalie, even if it's not his fault, just kind of it's a message to the team, and you're kind of protecting the goalie, both from himself, but from the really bad defense that's being played in front of him. And maybe the plan was always this was going to be a 45-45 kind of night for the DeKalb keepers, but I think it's just a tool of man management. I don't think you can put Austin Wade back out there in the second half. And again, he had the one goal that was on him, but otherwise this has mostly been some scintillating attacking by House and some pretty poor defense by DeKalb County. Here is Chirbo looking to get involved for really the first time. To the middle, Montoya. Montoya is closed down, and here House go the other way again. They'll take their time. Alzate, there is just so much space out there for the home team right now. There are always 2 or 3 guys just wide open. And for any neutrals out there watching, I got to imagine you've enjoyed just watching House play tonight, because this has been some really, really nice soccer that House have put together. Again, with some intricacy to their attacking shape. Players floating all over. Oscar Austin got a little comfortable on that one, and Squires collects. New to his center back partner, Gora. Squires. Squires, an Englishman, native of Christchurch, England, which do wonder if the more notable city in New Zealand, the much larger city in New Zealand, is named after the England one. Makowiecki, all sorts of space again. Williams with space ahead of him. Lane on a hat trick. Williams to the back post. Kikis is open again, and Waite makes another big save. Kikis Avalos, another header denied, but more fantastic football put together by Chicago House. Nico Williams almost getting a second assist. Turned over, Espinoza, Oscar Montejano, still Oscar. Avalos, Oscar. Back heel, offside flag is up. In the 40th minute. Well, earlier tonight we saw a just defensive battle between Chicago House and FC Milwaukee Torrent in the women's game. This has not exactly been that. Just a fireworks display from Chicago House. And gotta think that the guys on the House bench are gonna, at this rate, all get some pretty good minutes tonight. House haven't made any changes as of yet. Doesn't look like they're intending to. Everybody on the bench still has their warm-up sweatshirt on. Interested to see just how many changes Seymour makes at the half. Williams ran into some trouble there. Makowiecki, LaCost, and just so calm. House each time they recollect. Gora. And that's cut out by Chacon. Austin Montejano looking for Nico Williams. Was he pushed? Yes, he was. Free kick House. Lane, Espinoza, Makowiecki. Bit of a late challenge. Espinoza with a pretty gratuitous nutmeg there. Don't think he needed to do that, but in a game where you're playing as confidently as House are, sure. Chacon, big switch, looking for Espinoza. This will be out for a House throw. Lane, not receiving under any pressure there, goes shoulder to shoulder with O'Donoghue, and it's a House corner. Pau Mateo Chacon is up from center back to take this corner. He is the preferred left-footed player in dead ball situations. He'll swing this into the middle, headed away by O'Donoghue on the volley. Kikis Avalos not quite as accurate as his prior efforts tonight. But when you're up 4-0 and already have two, sure, have a go. If you've enjoyed today's House doubleheader, well, you can do it all again next week. Games at 2 and 5, I believe. Might be 2 and 6. As Chicago House take on Green Bay Glory, the women face off first, followed by the men. Makowiecki. Come to think of it, the proper Polish pronunciation there might be Makowiecki, but I don't think we have to worry about that too much under the circumstances. Or even Makowiecki. Also, flag is up here against Montoya, and Higgins wasn't taking any chances. Referee didn't like the location of that restart. By rights, the referee could add on 3 or 4 minutes at the end of the first half, but I don't think anybody would mind if he didn't. Goals so far, if you joined us late at all, Kiki Avalos in the 22nd and 26th, Jake Lane in the 30th and 36th. Oscar Montejano. Lane. Makowiecki. Nice turn by Oscar Montejano, playing it through the lines. Here's Kiki Avalos for a hat trick. No. Maybe the best look he's had all game, and it's a goal kick. His eyes must have lit up there.
Fans interested in participating in the freeze dance.
Went for power, and I think in the end, just a calm finish toward either bottom corner would have done just fine. It's kept in on the near side by Abdullah. Chirbo. Looking to outrun Espinoza. Cross to the far post is up and over everybody. As Ferguson had made a run toward the middle, delivered right back in. Header up and over. Best look so far, though, for DeKalb County. Comes there for Chirbo.
Freeze dance competition, fans. If you're sitting, you should be dancing.
We are past 45 minutes here in the end of the first half. I haven't seen the referee signal how many minutes are being added on. He just checked his watch. Kikis. Four minutes minimum here at the end of the first half. Here comes Makowiecki. Oscar Montejano ahead. Makowiecki cutting it back to the middle. Falls here for Williams. Nico! Just wide. Couldn't quite wrap his left foot around the shot as Nico Williams looked to get in on the fun. Chacon, and we found Squires. This one's knocked ahead. LaCost is there ahead of Montoya. Higgins, Alzate, LaCost. Look at all the space here for Oscar Montejano. And now look at the ball played into the path of Jake Lane. Lane keeps this in play. Up against Ibarra. Lane to the top of the area. Avalos, Kikis, wide again. By my count, though, that is 6 shots for Kikis Avalos in this first half. The first 2 of them went in. Excuse me, no. He had a goal. He had that first header that was a really good save. Then he scored again. Had another header saved, and then his last couple have been a bit wild. Actually, he might have 7 shots. I can't count right now. Makowiecki through the 18-yard box into the back of the net. Well, the math doesn't matter now. Kikis has his hat trick. In the 45th plus 3, it's 5-0. Hat trick Kikis. That's probably his night done and dusted. This game is very much over as well.
A third Chicago House goal scored in the 45th minute by number 10, Kiki Avalos.
What a ball, though. Just slammed across. I think that was by Lane. Hit that ball in, and man, this House attack is just cooking tonight. What is on the menu is corn. Well, this is going to DeKalb County United. Might need to change the logo from an ear of corn to a bowl of popcorn. Nico Williams, they might want more here before the half's over. Williams thought about it. Here's Lane. Chacon. Alzate. Austin Montejano. Is he pulled back? Sure looked like it, but the half might be about to end anyway. That is, in fact, the situation. Well, Chicago House won't want this half to have ended. DeKalb County will be glad that it's over. At the break, Chicago House 5, DeKalb County 0. We'll take a quick break. You're watching Midwest Premier League action. Chicago House, here live on Recruitment. We'll be right back.
Hi, my name is Brian Koenig. I am the president of Soccer 2000. We are a soccer specialty store located in Downers Grove. We specialize in servicing club uniforms and a personalized retail experience. Soccer 2000 has an exclusive team center that includes a wide variety of uniform kits to help your club choose the next kits that will make you guys look great on the field. Contact us at 630-241-9500 or find us online at soccer2000.com.
Max Heads, custom kick drum heads. Design online, upload, create, rock. If you're in a band, you need a Max Head. Did you know that you can advertise your business on our live streams? You sure can. Contact us about the numerous advertising opportunities we offer to local businesses during our sports live streams. Build brand awareness, engage customers, and support your local sports teams. Contact us for more information.
halftime here at Langhorst Field on the campus of Elmhurst University, where it is Chicago House 5, DeKalb County United 0. Here at the break, I'm Alex Campbell. Thanks for joining us tonight for this presentation of the Midwest Premier League live on YouTube on Recruitlings. It's a hat trick for Kiki Avalos, finished off in the 3rd minute of first half stoppage time. 2 goals as well for Jake Lane, and it could have been more. Avalos with 2 headers on goal that produced really good saves from Austin Waite, who did have a howler on the 2nd goal of the night, but I don't think you can really fault the goalkeeper for DeKalb for the way this has gone. House have played really well. DeKalb have struggled to string things together with the ball. They're leaving a lot of spaces without the ball, and the House are just kind of walking through the open doors. House also just have some speed on the wings. Lane in particular, along with Oscar Montejano, that although, clearly there's some really good athletes out there on this DeKalb team. This DeKalb team is a team of guys who are a little bit stockier in terms of their build, and that's just has not matched up well, particularly tonight against this Chicago House team. The rest of this game is going to be whatever Shannon Seymour's team wants it to be. If this is a game where they really want to make a statement and build a whole bunch of goal differential for the sake of standings, it's a game that could get to double digits, or maybe it's a game where we see 5 or 6 subs here at the half and a team that doesn't click quite in the same way in the second half. But we will wait and see. This is a Chicago House team who won a title this year, and they are playing like it. Stick with us here for the second half of this one on Recruitlings, live from Elmhurst. Second half kickoff is next.
Hi, my name is Brian Koenig. I am the president of Soccer 2000. We are a soccer specialty store located in Downers Grove. We specialize in servicing club uniforms and a personalized retail experience. Soccer 2000 has an exclusive team center that includes a wide variety of uniform kits to help your club choose the next kits that will make you guys look great on the field. Contact us at 630-241-9500 or find us online at soccer2000.com.
Max Heads custom kick drum heads. Design online, upload, create, rock. If you're in a band, you need a Max Head. Did you know that you can advertise your business on our live streams? You sure can. Contact us about the numerous advertising opportunities we offer to local businesses during our sports live streams. Build brand awareness, engage customers, and support your local sports teams. Contact us for more information.
Second half about to get underway here in Elmhurst in a game that is as a contest over but has 45 minutes left in it. And happy to be joined on color commentary for the second half of this one by our producer, Andy Diedrich. Andy, great to have you along. And I mean, you watched that first half with me, and it's pretty fair to say that could not have gone any better from a House perspective.
Yeah, well, thanks for having me up in the booth. You know, it's been a fantastic performance for the House so far. When it comes to getting goals, it seems like it was just very easy for them in a plethora of ways. Only two guys that made up the offensive output, but you know, when you have that 5-goal lead and you're still pitching a shutout, really hard to complain about that.
We'll do our best here to figure out what exactly the lineup is for DeKalb County. The one change we do know for sure is in goal. Number 31, Lucas Ortiz, has come off the bench. We have two confirmed changes for Chicago House, and the man on the ball right now is one of them. And before the game, Aaron Moreno was mistakenly listed as both a starter and a substitute. That leaves an open space on sub bench. And starting the second half is a Chicago House veteran who I don't believe was on the roster before, I don't know, 10 minutes ago. And that's Jasper Waddington. He's played a couple seasons with the House. He manages a soccer vintage store about a 15-minute walk from my apartment called Saturday's Football in Chicago, which is a pretty cool job, I think I've got to say. So he's in the match. The other change is number 16. That is Julian Da Silva. He has replaced Eric Espinoza in midfield. Meanwhile, DeKalb County looking to try to put anything together here in this second half, and that was Montoya and Niziolek not being on the same page there. It'll be interesting, Andy, to see how hard House want to try in this second half, because you don't want to risk any injuries and you want to be sportsmanlike, but at the same time, an opportunity for House to put a few more goals on the board. It kind of feels like if they choose to.
Everything was going their way in the first half. They were controlling the pace of the game. You mentioned it a couple times. It was unreal how much space they had and how much they could breathe on the offensive end. They want to get a couple more goals to really put a ball in this one, as they might right here. Go ahead, Alex.
Well, here's Kikis Avalos. He's already got 3. He wanted 4, and he just couldn't quite get his hips turned as much as he needed to. In the end, it's an easy first save for Ortiz, redshirt junior at Eastern Illinois, native of Romeoville. And blowing a tire is Avalos.
You mentioned it earlier about getting that goalie substitution in. Even if it's not necessarily the goalie's fault for all the goals being let up, it's just kind of a mental thing. It's you want to get a new set of eyes out there and just not kill the mood of one of your guys that you're setting out there for pitch.
Yeah, effectively now, although he's dropping back to still help defend, it's a 4-4-2 for House. Waddington, Makowiecki, LaCoste, and Austin Montejano across the back line. The midfield band is Jake Lane, John Espinoza, lost his name on my sheet, Julian Da Silva, and Oscar Montejano with Kikis Avalos and Nico Williams up front. And just from, to take a more neutral perspective, it'd be good to see DeKalb County United show some sort of life in the second half, be able to put something together. This is a season that's already kind of in danger of getting away from them. And there's a joke in English football certainly, but Europe generally, that the worst case scenario is that a team feels effectively relegated by Christmas. Well, hold on, here's Oscar Montejano. Oscar spinning, turning, shot was blocked by Danu. The way this is going, DeKalb County United might be relegated by the end of June. And, that's a tough position to be in, and it's a wrinkle that now exists in the Midwest Premier League Heartland Conference with promotion and relegation, that there are some stakes, particularly if you're in that top division, and the goals of the season now are pretty black and white for DeKalb County. It is to survive versus a team like House, who have their eyes firmly set on winning a title, as LaCoste is over ahead of Robino.
Talking about relegation being top of mind, that's certainly the case. But you also talk about just this game in a vacuum as well. We want to see some competition. Certainly we do as fans of the sport, at the very least. See the DeKalb player takes a dive there. But yeah, just want to see some sort of fight in DeKalb, get some sort of positive momentum. So it certainly looks like they're going to be 0-4 leaving Elmhurst here today. Have to get something going as they leave here.
Yeah, certainly just to take into your next match, if nothing else. Meanwhile, for Chicago House, they've got Green Bay Glory next to team. They've already put 7 on, and there's the night kind of in a nutshell for DeKalb. Squires went for the back heel, and there was no one there. I think in that situation, he's just got to pull the trigger, even if it's not a great angle to shoot.
Not much to lose when you're down 5-0. I think the House kind of thought the same way in the first half. We saw Kikis Avalos just kind of take aim and fire a little bit of a willy-nilly shot. When you're up 5, why not really put the game away when you can?
Makowiecki gets shoved to the turf there, and it doesn't matter. Look at all the space for Oscar Montejano to turn into. Stretch his legs a little bit. Can't find Kikis as House had kept 5 or 6 guys back. Here's a chance for Montoya to get it behind, and really the first action of any note for Jeremiah Higgins on the night. He hasn't had to make a save yet, but you can understand him wanting to feel more involved. This one gets away from Alzate, able to recover.
Over 12 years with a purpose. Visit Pilot Peak Beverage Station, located at House Says, throughout today's game to learn about Pilot Peak's Faith and Humanity Project.
Through the line, that's a good ball. Chance here for DeKalb, and getting a piece of it was Higgins. Got to be careful though, net's open right now. Squaring, Rubino. Still not a shot out of all of that. It was a good look for Ian Ferguson. Higgins responded well, but once again, if you're DeKalb, just got to pull the trigger there. There's a shot, and somehow it's wide. The offside flag was up anyway. Yeah, just not DeKalb's night, Andy, in any sense.
Even when they get these opportunities like they have the past couple chances down in the attacking third, whatever it is, just a beat off, or even when they have that chance right there, shot goes way wide, and actually that's the keeper for House down right now. Referee going to talk to him.
Yeah, we saw him go sprawling there a couple of times. And looks like he's going to be okay for now.
I was eager to see some action. He definitely got it. Hopefully he's okay. So he's back. And chipper as ever.
Space here for LaCost. Austin Montejano. Da Silva. Collision there in midfield as first onto it here will be Squires. You still hear Shannon Seymour barking instructions from the House bench despite the scoreline. Look at that pressure by Oscar Montejano. And eventually, Baylor Danu cleans up. Ferguson, loose touch, and that's enough for Austin Montejano to intervene. Keep that in, not quite. Throw in here for Dekalb. Andy, it's also exciting though. House, a team that obviously has had a bit of a strange history. They come in NISA in its founding only to see the league just basically kneecapped by the pandemic before it could even really get started. It's a team that, again, started as a third-tier professional team, had to reorganize itself a bit in the amateur ranks, and year on year, it's I think safe to say they've gotten a little better. But the way this team is playing tonight, again, this is not the toughest matchup they'll have this season, but it feels like there is kind of a final, like they've reached some sort of culmination as they've gotten more and more exciting as we've gotten to watch them over these past couple of seasons.
So much talent in all different areas of the squad. Keep in mind, they're having these performances without A.R. Smith. Typically been their captain, one of the better midfielders in the Midwest Premier League. So you can only imagine with an addition like him compared to this 5-goal lead they've accomplished so far, where they might be now and where they stand within the rest of the Midwest Premier League.
But to be fair, though, it might be hard for AR to just walk back into this team when he's fit. Okay, you look at the midfield that started today with Alzate and Espinoza and Avalos. You're probably looking at Espinoza as the guy who would most likely drop out for Smith, but still just a really comprehensive performance. We're seeing Oscar Montejano more or less playing as a central midfielder at this point, alongside Da Silva. Nice ball there, first time out wide from Shearbow.
I think the other thing, it's just a great opportunity. Now that you got to this lead, I think Coach Shannon Seymour might wait a little bit before really getting his starters out of there that began this game and got them out to this lead. It's a good chance to see some action from some of the guys that are towards the bottom of the roster. They don't always see as much action on pitch.
A reminder of the rest of the squad tonight for House. Ryan Grady is the backup goalkeeper. Alejandro Mentasti, Oleh Tymovfi, Aaron Moreno, and Bay Kurtz and Makila all remain on the House bench. And then apparently Jasper Waddington is here too.
Jasper got subbed into the game, and I got subbed in randomly to color commentate. We have a lot in common.
Yeah, I don't know if either of you planned on spending the second half of tonight's game in this manner, but here we are. There's the Dekalb captain O'Donoghue going out wide and just giving it straight away to Waddington. Here is Jasper. Be interested to see the celebrations if he scored.
I think they're going to feed him the ball on purpose a little bit just to get that.
Who knows? I mean, again, for all we know, he might have been on the roster officially. He just wasn't a guy who they were expecting to have play much for them this season. There's a nutmeg by Kikis. Rubino recovers well. Austin, bit of a loose touch, but able to recover. Makowiecki, Dan LaCost. Just more calm composure on the ball. Waiting for Dekalb to find something here and Instead, it's just House being increasingly patient. Jhon Alzate ending up wide left, because why not? It seems like, with the exceptions of the center backs and Nico Williams at striker, positions don't really matter tonight. Makowiecki has a go from distance, and he pulled it wide. Why not have a go? He's shifted over to center back from his right back position that he began the evening at. As night begins to fall here in Elmhurst, and I don't know about you, Andy, it feels like the temperature dropped about 15 degrees in the last 2 minutes.
Not just in the last 2 minutes. Remember when we first showed up here to start the women's game compared to now, and all the rain in between? It's been quite the eventful day of weather. So whoever's a meteorologist out there, this was quite the day to study for sure.
Nothing like Chicago, especially as we head into summer. Ball played long, right off the stomach of LaCost. Alzate cleans up. Makowiecki, Kikis turns, and here we go again. Avalos outside of the boot, looking for Williams. Danuke got there, and now the keeper's in trouble, Austin Waite. He's just got to clear, anywhere will do. And this runs all the way through. It's not Waite anymore in goal, that's Ortiz. Certainly has been a bit of a misadventure, I guess you could say, tonight for Dekalb's goalkeepers. Again, Ortiz has not conceded. He's in the 13th minute of his night. The pace of the game has certainly slowed. House kept the foot on the gas throughout the entire first half. Again, they scored in the 3rd minute of stoppage time, and not quite the same thing here in the second half, understandably so. Oscar. Kikis, I thought his night might be over at the half, but I guess not. Got a little bit too aggressive on that attempted pass. Is that a foul? Referee says no. And not too many protests from the Dekalb bench. Silva out wide, and here's Jasper Waddington. LaCost ran into some trouble, and trying to turn here is Niziolek. Just kept in play there on the far side by Abdullah. Look at the spin move though from Nico Williams. Doesn't have a goal yet tonight, Nico. Certainly wants one. Edge of the area. Lane was tripped up. Good defending by Abdullah. Certainly there we saw Nico Williams wants a goal, and Lane wants his hat trick.
You can't have fun when you're up 5-0.
Free kick. Foul committed on Josh Squires.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a winning number in our 50-50 raffle. The winning number is 6.
Seems to make sense that was expressed to the House by Coach Shannon Seymour at halftime was.
Again, that's
so many great things in the first half.
6, 4, 7, 9, 7. Congratulations, and thanks for playing.
Continue to go out, get the fundamentals of the game down, and continue to play another great 45 minutes of soccer. It's really going to be hard to complain. It doesn't matter what the margin of victory is. We come out with a win, a solid goal differential, really all that matters.
Well, and at this point, again, this is not meant as disrespect to DeKalb County. It's just kind of the way this game is panned out. This is effectively an extra training section right now for Shannon Seymour to get, what are live game minutes, but to, again, help guys build relationships, work on some things tactically. Looks like Aaron Moreno, who's not a new face, looks like he's going to be coming into this match, defensive midfielder. Risky pass there from Waddington, found Makowiecki anyway, and here he goes. Defender still with some gas in the tank. Lane. LaCost. Alzate on the turn. Avalos, Alzate. Alzate all day finds Austin Montejano. I'm gonna say thank you to the Montejano brothers for having very different haircuts.
good numbers, you got to fill the court somehow.
Oscar's also a little bit taller than Austin is.
Well, tremendous players, though. House is definitely happy to have them on board.
Oh, absolutely. Austin, this is his second year on the team. First year for Oscar. I'm sure that was a really hard recruiting pitch to get him to join up.
I believe it was Oscar that scored the goal in their very first game against Adrian.
Well, Avalos. Oh, look at the unselfishness from the Chicago House number 10. Could have gotten his fourth. Instead, he gives Nico Williams his first at 6.
Selfish is the perfect way to describe it. Kiki's already has his hat trick. Don't know what else he needs. Nico Williams, who had a brilliant spin move and sure looked like he wanted to score, he gets his wish. 6-0.
That is 5 goal involvements tonight for Avalos. Kiki's with 3 goals and 2 assists. We've got more subs for DeKalb County. Back into the match comes number 34, Jared Reveles. Meanwhile, House are going to make a double change. It's going to be Alejandro Mentasti replacing Nico Williams. And Aaron Moreno is going to come in for Dan LaCost. Don't usually get center backs subbing out in this sort of situation, but given the state of the game, it's an opportunity to give Dan an ovation, give him some rest, and let's see if Moreno's going to, I'd assume, play center back. Looks like Jasper Waddington might shift over into center back. Yeah, so we're going to have Jhon Alzate is going to go to right back. Waddington will partner Makowiecki at center back. And Mentasti, the big Argentine, goes up top. Be interested to talk to Jasper Waddington after this game. So, is this how you plan to spend?
That you were checking in and get some touches.
Well, again, the guy with a lot of experience for this team, It's interesting that he came in for Pau Mateo Chacon because him and Pau Mateo played a lot of minutes together over the last few years. Mentasti, Lane, Moreno couldn't quite bring it under his spell, but luckily for House, it's given right back to Da Silva. Trying to make something from not very much is Martin Montoya. So Donahue goes back. The defense worked around to the far side now. And hammered away by Makowiecki. Again, a reminder, doubleheader next Sunday begins at 2 p.m. as House take on a Green Bay Glory. Join us right here live on Recruit Links for both of those matches. Green Bay Glory, a team that the House women in their first season last year just kind of got destroyed by, to be honest. That's a nice move along the end line to cutting it back. A shot, Montoya blocked and away by Da Silva. It was great work done by Izzy Oleh. But we saw the House women today get that draw against FC Milwaukee Torrent. Meanwhile, on the men's side of that equation, that's an easy save for Higgins.
House fans, Rock Valley Publishing.
House men have already beat Green Bay Glory 7-2 this season, so they'll be looking to keep up the goal-scoring habit
soccer news, information,
on Father's Day.
Recaps, and more. Each Thursday throughout the soccer season, Rock Valley Publishing is dedicating an entire page of Chicago House
nice one-touch soccer there. Moreno looking to play it into the path of Avalos. Couldn't quite find that gap.
At various locations throughout Elmhurst, or view the online version at www.theindependentnewspapers.com.
Yeah, you wonder if this is an opportunity for somebody like McGlory, Makila, Bay Kurtz to get out there. We'd love to see Bay Kurtz get on the field because he's got a really cool resume that'd be fun to talk about. He was the maybe least famous man on a team of very famous people in the Open Cup earlier this season. Oscar Montejano on he goes, trying to play through for Kiki's, not quite. Seeing that some of these House guys, they've really got an engine. And the fitness levels, really impressive for this House team. And look at all the space here again for Jake Lane. Also, we see Nico Williams getting some work at the training table. He got, again, as we mentioned, he got clattered in the first half, so hopefully he's all right.
Surprising to even see him walking and running after that, let alone staying in the game to the second half and then netting a goal himself.
I think he wanted that goal pretty badly. Striker's mentality. And then as soon as he scores, okay, now you're allowed to take me out.
Hard to blame?
No, yeah, not objecting at all to the thought process there. As that ball's played kind of aimlessly, but no one over there. Here's Kikis. Again, Kikis could have 6 tonight by himself. He's forced a couple good saves. He could have scored his 4th on the Williams goal. Moreno. We have a run being made to the outside here. Jhon Alzate getting forward. He'll send it across. Alzate, that's flicked away by Gora. Opportunity for Jhon Alzate to do something a little bit different than his normal defensive midfield job. A very versatile and just willing player for House. A bit of a Swiss Army knife, a guy who will do whatever job you ask of him. Niziolek flipping this toward the penalty area. Makowiecki wins the header. And here's Kikis. Game at times being played at a walk.
Still, Dekalb just showing no interest in pressuring the House at all. The House were walking this ball up numerous times in both hands. It continues here.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised. Again, Dekalb came out flying tonight. They were the better team for the opening 10 minutes of this game. They weren't able to cash that in with any big chances, but they looked up for this, and then it really felt like when that second goal goes in as it slips through the hands of Austin Waite, that was kind of the end of that. Moreno has a go! And was that saved? No, but certainly had the interest of Lucas Ortiz. But it felt like, in hindsight, Andy, this game ended when that ball went through the hands of the Dekalb goalkeeper. As House are going to make at least triple change coming up here. See a few guys walking back to the bench with substitution cards in hand. Oleh Tymovfi is definitely one of the 3. If I had to go out on a limb, I'm going to guess the other one of them is going to be Bay Kurtz. The other is either Tymovfi or Ismael Gomez. They're the only 2 other guys available. Big switch looking for Avalos. Pinpoint. Here's Kikis. Kikis up against Rodino. Back to Austin Montejano. Nice turn by Oscar. Oscar into the area. Oscar to the middle. Lane. Laying this off. Austin Montejano. Trying to put his right foot through it and cut across the ball. Goal kick. Shannon Seymour having a brief discussion with the guys who are going to be coming into this game.
Being a former player himself, I think he really embodies the phrase player's coach.
Absolutely.
The deep relationship he has with each of these guys is just a really special thing to see.
So it's going to be Oleh Tymovfi, Ismael Gomez, and Magloire Villa.
Guy with an interesting bio?
Not yet, at least. And again, well, if he doesn't get into the game, we're gonna talk about it anyway because it's really fun.
It sounds good to me.
Actually, I mean, I alluded to it. So the fun of it is this ball is gonna find its way down toward the corner, and Makowiecki, under some pressure there from Montoya, deals with it. House are in some trouble. Waddington, was he fouled? No, says the referee. He thought about blowing the whistle. Play goes on. Montoya couldn't get on the end of it as Makowiecki recovered, and House are out of trouble. So the fun story with Bay Kurtz, he was a Fire and a Real Salt Lake Academy player in his youth, bounced around some really good programs in college, as here's Montoya taking a shot out for a corner kick. And then earlier this season, he had the fun experience, I imagine, of playing with the Des Moines Menace in the Open Cup, who basically imported the entire 2015 New York Red Bulls. As this corner is taken quickly, nobody, even on Dekalb, was ready for that. I'm not sure what that was about. but he got to share the field with the likes of Dax McCarty and Bradley Wright Phillips and Sasha Question and AJ De La Garza, and off and running here is Oscar Montejano. Montejano into the area. Montejano goes himself and hits the football crossbar. But Des Moines just loaded up on former MLS players, again, mostly guys who played for the Red Bulls, including Bradley Wright Phillips, one of the leading goal scorers in MLS history. And so I'm sure for Bay, that was a pretty fun phone call to get. It's like, hey, you want to come hang out with a bunch of former, MLS guys, a few former U.S. national team players, and play an Open Cup game. And they got through one round before losing their second match. But again, he'll always have that story.
Of course, probably valuable experience and insight gained from them. If not that, though, I mean, just a very cool thing to say. Hey, I play with all these guys. Look what I was able to accomplish.
Yeah, you don't have to specify that it was toward the end of your career in a very kind of funny Open Cup game. The referee just signaled for a goal kick, and he's, I'm not sure what's up with that, because that was clearly off the fingers of Gomez and out. Here comes the triple sub, and that's going to be it for Kiki Avalos. 3 goals and 2 assists for him tonight. Also leaving the match is Jake Lane. He's got 2 goals and an assist. And Oscar Montejano will complete the trio.
This time entering the match, number 29, under 22 player, Isiah Gallegos-Munoz. And leading the match, number 2, Jake Lane. Entering the match, number 19, Oleh Tymovfi.
Yeah, just didn't lead the league last year. That was the only
number
change.
10, Kiki Avalos.
So, Rory Makila's the last guy in. He's a striker. He's going to want to get himself on the board here before the end of the night. 17 minutes to go. I'm not saying plus stoppage time because there's no way there should be any. Swung in low, bouncing ball in the area. Mentasti couldn't quite get there. Galleg's trying to get clear. Doing his best is Montoya. And Makila's going to keep this in. And no, he's not, as he slips on some combination of the ball and the turf. And again, for Dekalb, hopefully, for PJ Hamilton and his team, they're able to, develop at least some consistency in the guys who are available on a week-to-week basis. If their best players, if some of their best players aren't here tonight, hopefully they're able to get those guys back. It's a good ball ahead. They're showing some life here in the last few minutes. As Alzate sees that on the play for a goal kick. Looking at the benches, still a couple guys we haven't seen tonight, which is interesting. On the Dekalb bench, Jack Bonavilla has not gotten into the game. Neither has Michael Rubio Jr. I don't know why you wouldn't just throw him out there at this point. Oh, excuse me, they might be out there and I didn't know it. I just looked up and saw 7, Bonavilla, so he is on the field. It's been kind of hard to keep track of who's been out there, especially given the mixture of players they started the second half with. So let's see if we can spy a 50 anywhere out there either. I haven't seen one of Rubio Jr., but Jack Bonavilla is out there, North Central College senior out of Rockford. A nice first touch there by Ferguson, but then he commits a foul.
House fans, Elmhurst's very own Hamburger Heaven, a proud Jersey sponsor of the Chicago House, has been serving their original double-decker hamburger and Richardson's draft root beer since 1948.
Again, we talked about Bay Kurtz. He's on the bench.
Age, funny things happen when you come to Hamburger Heaven. The nostalgic memories of times gone by.
Other than that, we've seen everybody.
Walk up to this old-school diner at York Road and North Avenue. One of the best neighborhood favorites restaurants for many years, Hamburger Heaven has been featured in newspapers, magazines, and local TV shows. Stop by Hamburger Heaven and
cardio in on a Sunday night.
Award-winning root beer and create memories that will
given this
last
is
a
amateur
lifetime.
soccer, most of these guys will be checking into a day job tomorrow morning, like most of you listening at home, I imagine. That's a nice step there by Aaron Moreno. Moreno trying to go to the middle, couldn't find the pass. Montejano couldn't step to that, and here's a chance to get forward for Dekalb, but then it's just given away, and Makowiecki's like, hey, what did I do to deserve that shove? Just some frustration being shown there by Jared Seneva. Here is Tymovfi, native of Arlington Heights. Works as a coach at the American Futsal Academy in Wheeling, so guy, if we can see him on the ball a bit, I'd expect to be very confident in close control situations. Was at Harper College the last couple of years. This ball sprayed down the line. Austin Montejano's on the chase, and a chance for him to get forward. Still going Austin into the area. Montejano shoulder to shoulder, keeps that in play. Austin Montejano did not keep that ball in. House can't believe the call. But I don't think this is the time to complain too much about something like that.
Austin's really showing some fight here despite the margin of lead. I think he's just adamant about he played to the final whistle, showing some on the defensive end, and he really tried to box out his defender and keep that one in play.
Austin's a bit of a spark plug. I got to see him and his brother play during 6 months that I spent during the pandemic calling games at Concordia University of Chicago. Him and his brother were both fixtures on that team that would have been the 2020 season that was played in the spring of 2021. And again, always been a really high energy guy, and not a big guy by any stretch of the imagination, but not lacking for energy or effort. Nice turn there by Sineva. O'Donohue ran into a defender, and Waddington can go all the way back for the safety of Jeremiah Higgins. Higgins, who's only had a couple saves to make tonight. That was impressively flicked on by Makila. Unfortunately, it's only to Danu, the defender for DeKalb County. Now here's a chance for Bonavia on the ball. Bonavia through the lines, wanted Montoya, couldn't quite find him. This rolls all the way to Higgins.
Yeah, probably pretty desperate just to put something on the board, not even for the sake of this game, just to give yourself some confidence. And in basketball, they always say you got to see one go through the loop. You put one back into that here, the team's in a much different headspace heading out of Elmhurst rather than if it's a shutout.
Well, at least you'd have one or two players, if they were involved in the goal, feeling a little bit better about the night overall, because, again, you got to go right back at it. Austin Montejano, currently set to be one of a couple guys to go the full 90 tonight. It's him, it's Makowiecki, and it's Alzate, who have played the entire game.
If you haven't stopped by Antina's, you're in for a real treat. There's a variety of options to satisfy most palates.
Again, to run down the scoring in tonight's game, Kikis Avalos, 22nd and 26 minutes to make it 2-0. Jake Lane followed with his 2 goals in the 30th and 36th to make it 4. Kikis got his hat trick, made it 5 at the 3rd minute of added time at the end of the first half. And then Nico Williams put the 6th on the board in the 62nd minute.
House love to score in these bursts. Remember their game against, I believe it was Charniazo, they scored 3 goals in the first 10 minutes, 3 different goal scorers. That was the final, was 3-0. As long as the goals are going in the net, that's all that matters. It's just interesting to see how they get on these real hot streaks and score a couple goals in a matter of minutes.
Sineva. O'Donohue. Niziolik to the middle. Bonavia trying to find a shooting lane, and it's last off of Montoya. That'll be a goal kick.
Be sure to visit the Elmhouse Pride Collective booth. Write a message
10
on the
minutes to
dining
go.
stall. Learn more about the Elmhurst Family Pride Fest on June 21st. Purchase your Elmhurst is for Everyone yard sign and other Pride gear available. Stop by, say hi, and find out how you can get involved with the EPC's work in the community.
For how long we've been here, Alex, and all the weather we've seen. Right now, 65 with a cool breeze coming in through the windows. I know I can't complain. I think the players are relieved. It's not pouring down.
Yeah, I mean, I imagine there's a couple guys who aren't sweating a whole lot out there. Da Silva looking for Alzate. That was, sure looked like a handball, but again, at this point in the game, it's kind of all academic. Here's Moreno. Looking over the top for the run of Mentasti. Getting in the way of that was Gora. Ferguson leaving this back for Rodino. Rodino, the Illinois Wesleyan junior. He and Bonavia would have squared off his opponent several times in CCIW play. Here goes Makila. Glory Makila, edge of the area. Makila laying it back for Moreno. Just leaned back a bit too much. Curved it up and over the top. Bonavia. Alzate to the Blue Jay logo. Pushing forward. This is Ian Ferguson. Bonavia. Sent ahead, Ferguson. Trying to just get something going. It's one back. Really well done by House as it's sent back forward by Da Silva. Couldn't quite find Makila. 83rd minute of play now.
I mentioned the Blue Jay logo earlier. I really can't tell. Is it the same exact logo as Creighton University?
It is eerily similar. I don't think it's identical, but there is a lot of similarity there.
I suppose there's so many ways to draw.
Well, the one thing that you would say is that if you look at, say, Elmhurst's uniforms, the blue they go with is a much lighter blue, much more of a sky blue. Their uniforms are almost North Carolina Tar Heel-esque in basketball. I've seen their men's and women's teams play in both soccer and basketball quite a bit. I've seen their football team play a lot too, but they probably don't want me to talk too much about how that went for them. Which isn't any slight when it's because you're going up against right now the current reigning national champions in Division III football at North Central. Being really any other team in the College Conference of Illinois and Wisconsin for football these days, not always the most fun experience. At least when it comes to traveling to Naperville. Going to be an interesting year, though, ahead in that conference. North Central Cardinals still expected to be very good, but they've just lost, arguably, the best player in the history of Division III college football.
Is that so?
Back-to-back D3 Heisman winner.
Oh, goodness.
At quarterback. Owns a few overall records, including most consecutive games. Touchdown pass, college football, any level. Oh, my, that was late. And yellow card is out. And in some serious pain is Oleh Tymovfi.
I think it's 25.
And now I think we're going to see quite a conference among the house players. Who gets to take this?
I'm calling it 25.
Because whoever's taking it is shooting. Tymovfi back to his feet. Alzate has the ball right now. And I think Tymovfi is saying, hey, I just got hacked for this. Certainly I deserve a chance to follow it up with a shot. He's discussing this with Alzate, and I think Jhon Alzate is going to pull rank here. Aaron Moreno's there as well, as is Mentasti. Those are all veteran guys on this house team. Not surprised it's those guys who are going to have a shot at this. We've already seen Moreno shoot over a few times in this second half.
I feel visibly upset he couldn't take that one. It was a very serious conversation, like you said, was going on right there.
Yeah, let's see what it comes to. Sure looks like it's going to be Moreno. Aaron Moreno around the wall, and ready for it in the end was Ortiz. Sure now, Tymovfi is saying to himself, see, they should let me take it.
That's the one gripe that he'll have of this game. I guess that must have been a pretty good game for Chicago House. It certainly was.
It is interesting, though, again, you see Shannon Seymour wants the level, the standard to stay high. We've heard him be frustrated with a few things from this team in the second half. And again, given the state of the game, it's maybe not translatable to some other circumstances. But again, you're in a stretch of the schedule where you came into tonight expecting a victory. Or maybe not expecting a victory. You came into tonight in a situation where you should win. They're looking at another game next week that's the same. And so I think that really is the job of the coaches during a stretch like this, is you don't want your guys to get complacent or too comfortable, because eventually the games are going to get tougher. Mentasti had to go from way, way out, just did not catch it right.
That's a good point you bring up. I do think Shannon Seymour wants to ensure this game is clearly put away, but when they host Green Bay next week, that they want to come out with that one with a win. Don't want to drop any games that they feel they have the upper hand in before, you know, they have to go and travel back up to Wisconsin, go play Bavaria on June 20th.
Yeah, it's not going to get any easier there. Bavarian, always a very strong team in this league. Currently, it's DeKalb County and Chartiazvo, who are shell of their former selves. That's a league winner in the last couple of seasons. Rock bottom of the table right now. Strong challenge. This is going to fall right to Makila. Maglore onto his left. Makila, his shot right at Ortiz. That's headed backwards, and here's a chance for something. Sliding challenge in there by Higgins. That was bold. The net is open and covering up. That was a little bit adventurous there from Jeremiah Higgins.
Pretty bold. Do you think he knew he had that defensive help behind him, or just maybe a bit of a gaffe there on his part, coming way too far out of the net?
I don't know. Keepers are crazy. And maybe you can say in particular short keepers are crazy. Well, that would have been a bit of a comical way for DeKalb to get a goal on the night. Rodino swings this in toward the far post. He's got a man there, but that man is multiple yards offside. Fires it into the bottom corner anyway. He says, who, me? And again, I think that's just a frustration example, because we could see it from not a great angle up here that was not very close.
It's one thing if it's could go either way, one of those 50-50 goals. That was not one of them. What's the word? Egregious, maybe?
I mean, it wasn't egregious, but it was a good job. Chicago House's defense, they took that step forward and left the attacker visibly offside. Here's Jhon Alzate. Jasper Waddington. Into the 90th minute now. Da Silva, space to run forward. He's got men ahead of him. Da Silva into the path here of Tymovfi, and that's well defended in the end by Rodino. Given away though, here's Da Silva. Da Silva onto his left. Da Silva clearly wants to shoot, wasn't there. Tymovfi, he'll chip one to the far side, looking for Makila. That's headed away. Here's Maglore Makila again. Looking for the run. Here's Jhon Alzate. Alzate got one to the middle. Good job by Ortiz to close the angle down. Foul by Makila. Free kick, and that should be just about that. Well, I guess Lucas Ortiz has had a solid enough last 20 minutes in the DeKalb goals. He's made a few good stops.
If you want to look at the positives, that's definitely one to draw. And I don't know if the saves have been, he hasn't had to be superhuman to make the saves that he's had to make, but he made the saves. That is one thing that you cannot take away from him or this DeKalb team.
We're past the 90th minute mark. Haven't heard anything about added time, and I'm honestly surprised the referee hasn't blown his whistle yet already as this ball pops in the air off of Montejano. It's one of those things in soccer that on the one hand, it's like, yeah, you want to, do the normal thing of calculating added time, but also in a game that's this lopsided, is there's going to be 1 minute of added time. We just saw signaled down on the sideline and up here in the booth. It's everybody for a while now, I think, it would have been okay with this game being over. Here's Moreno. It's going to give them one more opportunity, and Makila is onside as he chases this down into the far corner. One last attack for House. Makila back. Da Silva. Da Silva scores. Touchdown. 90+1. it's Julian Da Silva who gets in on the act, puts the extra point on the board, and that, not to, put too fine a point on it, Andy, that's the argument for why, if you're the referee, you just blow the whistle at 90, because otherwise, that can happen.
I was getting ready to say the House was just going to run this clock out, dot their I's, cross their T's, and get out of here, but they were adamant and put an exclamation mark on it instead.
Those subs want a goal.
They sure got him. 7-0.
Ismael Gomez, has been 29 out there. Da Silva's 16. That's my mistake. So Ismael Gomez gets the goal. My mistake to fans at home. There's the full-time whistle. Gomez gets on the act. 7-0. Second time this season that Chicago House puts 7 goals up on the board in a game. And Andy, I think Chicago House will be wanting to carry this game with them all through the week into Green Bay next weekend for that matchup. And on the flip side, DeKalb County United will want to, by tomorrow morning, forget this game.
Very well said. Specifically for Chicago House on both the men's and women's side. What a day. The women tie a very talented team that they faced, and the men walk away with a 7-0 win. You can't ask for a much better day if you are Chicago House Athletic Club.
Yeah, a 4-point day I think they will certainly take, and 7 goals for the men in a 7-0 blanking. Not much to complain about here, and we'll be talking to somebody down on the field to celebrate this win and get some good vibes from Chicago House that I'm sure are flowing through this team. But for now, for our game coverage, for Eric Grady behind the camera, for Andy Dietrich on production and on color commentary for the second half of our second game today, I'm Alex Campbell. I'll see you down on the field, and we'll see you for another pair of broadcasts next Sunday.
Hi, my name is Brian Koenig. I am the president of Soccer 2000. We are a soccer specialty store located in Downers Grove. We specialize in servicing club uniforms and a personalized retail experience. Soccer 2000 has an exclusive team center that includes a wide variety of uniform kits to help your club choose the next kits that will make you guys look great on the field. Contact us at 630-241-9500 or find us online at soccer2000.com.
Max Heads custom kick drum heads. Design online, upload, create, rock. If you're in a band, you need a Max Head. Did you know that you can advertise your business on our live streams? You sure can. Contact us about the numerous advertising opportunities we offer to local businesses during our sports live streams. Build brand awareness, engage customers, and support your local sports teams. Contact us for more information.
Langhorse Field, down on the field post-game after Chicago House's 7-0 win tonight with who else? Man of the match, Kikis Avalos. 3 goals, 2 assists on the night. Not a bad day at the office. How good does that feel to go out here and be able to have a 90 minutes like you did tonight?
It feels great. It always feels great to help the team out and get the victory.
In that first half, you got 3 goals. You also had 2 headers saved, and you had a couple other chances as well. How fun is it for you when the ball just keeps finding you in good spaces?
No, it's the team knows. How do I explain it?
The team knows where you're at.
Yeah, they always look for me, and I try to help the team out as much as I can. And yeah, we all just help each other out.
Speaking of helping each other out, you could have gotten your 4th goal in the second half if you wanted to. Instead, you gave it up for Nico Williams on a tap. And what'd you see on that play, and why'd you make that choice?
We help each other to boost each other's confidence up when sometimes the plays don't work out how we want. And that's just the way to boost everybody's confidence up and, help each other out.
In a game like this where, by halftime, this game's, as a contest, it's over, how important is it for you guys to keep the level high? We hear Shannon down on the bench. He's yelling and still trying to correct things in that second half. How important is it to keep the level high even when the game's, as a contest, is over?
We have to keep it high because you never know. We dropped energy, the team could score 1, 2, or 3, and they could just turn out to an even game. And we just have to keep going hard and just finish the game.
Well, you guys did go hard all night. And a guy who's looking to claim another Golden Boot this season in Midwest Premier League, Kikis Avalos. Congrats on the win and a great night for you. We'll see you next week.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Absolutely. Yeah. All right, we're going to try to find one other interview here. I think we want to hear from Jake Lane, the man who scored 2 goals and got an assist as well on the night. So we're going to go looking here. Just again, another live walk and talk for number 2 in green, and maybe we'll have to solicit some help from the other players as well as we have a look around here. Jake Lane, seen where he got to. Yeah, so he's doing autographs. So we're gonna go where he is. We're gonna follow Brian Koenig here, House Director of Operations, and we're gonna go find Mr. Lane. And I feel like I'm doing a Billy Eichner on the street interview right now. Or whoever that guy is who runs around the Formula One paddock just annoying people. Brian's going to find him, so shout out to Brian and the entire House staff for all they do to make these games possible and go off well. I mean, we could also just do that. I mean, what a guy to talk to about soccer in Chicago, just generally. Hey, Peter, you got a second? Let's bring Peter Wilton while we've got it. The man in charge of Chicago House. Pretty good pride day for Chicago House. You break a team's 15-match win streak in league play, and you score 7 in the second game. Good day at the office.
It was terrific. I'm very proud of the players on both the men's team and the women's team. Great crowd here today. Elmhurst really came out and supported Chicago House.
It feels like this team is very much growing on the field. Both teams, the women's team has taken a big step forward this season. The men's team feels like they've maybe reached that level where they can go and win a division title this season. The support off the field, as you mentioned, has gone up. How much are you enjoying watching this 2025 summer play out so far?
Oh, this is terrific. New head coach J.J. Ruane and his assistant Katie McHugh have done a great job putting together a talented team. And Shannon Seymour, similarly on the men's side. One of the nice things about the men's team is a lot of these players played together last year. year, and they train so often together. They're familiar with each other, and they're good. They're very good. We want to win the regular season. The Midwest Premier League, Heartland Conference Championship means a lot to us, and we want to go all the way.
Well, hopefully we'll see you do that. We're going to get Jake Lane in here next. Peter Wilt, thanks as always, and we'll bring in Jake. We had Kikis Avalos already in here, and if not for him, you might have had a shot tonight at man of the match. I guess just if we go back to the start of the game, you were finding so much space on that right wing. What were you seeing out there in that first half?
You know, I mean, part of the way that we play is everyone's interchanging, everyone's moving around, so when the team moves around like that, you know, it leaves a lot of space for me and Kikis to get on the ball and, you know, drive at guys, go 1v1, which I think is one of my strengths, and I was really, really happy to get to do that a lot, especially in the first half. So, yeah, I think our tactics worked really well and helped me for sure, so I was really happy about that.
Speaking of the tactics, we saw you guys basically almost building with the front six for a lot of that first half, just so many bodies into the attack. As the guy who's in that rightmost channel, how does it help to have so many other guys flooding forward to create more space?
Yeah, I mean, it's just the constant chaos that our attack brings is just, I mean, it's awesome. It's great to be a part of. It's part of the reason why we scored 5 goals in the first half. Just everyone capable of going to the right, going to the left, shooting from far, shooting from close, combining. Just, we get at teams with all different kinds of attacks, and they don't really know what to do. And, you know, it was just great to be a part of that tonight. So, yeah.
Peter just mentioned that there's a lot of guys on this team who've been together for a few years who know each other well. As one of the newer guys, what's it been like to come into this team this summer and become a part of this group?
Oh, it's been amazing. I'm honestly so lucky that I got this opportunity to play with this team. You know, all the guys took me in right away. They have a great culture. Training every day is awesome. The environment's just so fun to be in and so professional that, like, you know, I was kind of shocked when I first came in, and I was really happy to get to spend the summer with House, so I'm really excited.
Well, the summer might only just be getting started, especially if House can make a bit of a run toward the end of the season and get into the postseason in the Midwest Premier League. Jake Lane and House have had a great night tonight. Jake, thanks for a few minutes. We really appreciate it.
Thank you. You guys have a great night.
Absolutely. And that's going to do it for our coverage tonight. For today, a long day on Pride Day here for Chicago House. A draw and a big win. Lots of fun. Thanks for joining us for some of it. All of it. I'm Alex Campbell saying so long here on Recruitlings, and we'll see you next week.